Hey, what's up everybody? No Money Mark, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have Turbo Ranger. We have turbo to Ford Ranger, completely stock. Let's get into it. See you in a second. I've got it marked out. I'm gonna set it about right there is where it's gonna sit. And so I'm gonna point this up. I might have to cut a little of this wall, but I'm hoping not. If it sits like that, it should be okay. And then that'll go like that. Dope, right? So it'll just kind of like, I'll have to cut a hole in the hood, and I'll try to cut it like to where it is like in the shape of the turbo, and that'd be really cool. It'll just be sticking out right here. Awesome. So let me just drop that on the ground probably. Let me show you. So there's our sticky uppy part. I'm gonna cut it here first and see where we're at, but probably cut it here so that it fits like that. And then all that stuff will be put together like that. And the turbo will just sit right there on top. This stuff's actually not super thin, so I should hopefully be able to weld it without blowing holes out, but fingers crossed. Let's go do that real quick. All right, let's make a daggum thing. We're gonna do something. All right, so I got lines marked. We're gonna start with this one, and then I might cut it a little more. I probably will, but I'm gonna start off safe. This is the only part of the setup that I think might melt during welding, because it's like, it's not that bad actually. We'll be all right. Dingle bongle dingle dangle. Me when junk ain't turned on for real. All right. Yeah, that fits pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some more. I'm gonna cut it pretty short. We're gonna be running pretty scarce on room. So I'm like borderline gonna have to cut part of the front end off, or the front clip grill area. We're gonna try to not have to do that, but we might. Oh yeah. She's looking mean. Oh yeah, that'll do nicely. What I'm also gonna do, see how long this part is? That's just like super unnecessary. So I only need like that half to fit into this other fitting. So I'm gonna cut this off too, real quick. We are so in business. That's the O'Reilly special, by the way. Like, just go in there, put a bunch of stuff together. They didn't have a straight well, basically I brought the flange in there and I was like, okay, so we've got 2" to basically whatever that flange is. And it ended up being like 3.5 inches or something. And they don't have just one fitting just to jump that size. So I just had to combobulate a thing together. And I mean, it'd be all right. It'd be all right. It may not look good, but like, have you seen the truck we're putting this on? Like, we're just trying to get this thing on here and do it successfully. That's a win. Like, this thing's not, let's be real, it's gonna blow up immediately. So it does not freaking matter. So I don't wanna hear it about the fittings. We'll be okay. And I got more reasons. Reason number 2 is we're trying to not spend $1 million because, you know, it's gonna blow up immediately. And like, we're not going to try hard. And numero tres is that, I already forgot actually what I was gonna say, but you know, big surprise there. I remember now. Number 3 is, that's one of the hard parts. That's why no one does stuff like this, is because you have to have a freaking, that's what I kind of don't, you gotta have like an engine that everyone builds. And I like doing stuff that no one really does. So basically they're like, oh, you gotta put a daggum 454 in here, or you gotta put a 350 small block or something, you know, and like, that's what there's a platform for. That's what they sell parts for. They don't sell parts for this stuff because people don't do this stuff, which is another reason that it's funny, because no one does it and it's a terrible platform to do it off of, and you should really never do it, but we are doing it anyways. I'm gonna polish these bad boys up so the metal will stick. Cut the metal, glue the metal. All right, new battery. By the way, I'm using a battery one and not the electric one, because I can't find the key for the electric one to change the wheel, and it's like, they're different. This one's way freaking bigger. So I'm stuck with the battery one. Also, it's a good time to be doing stuff inside because it's raining apparently. All right, we'll keep going. All right, all of our beautiful mating surfaces are polished up here. And I've got it put all back together, and I guess we're gonna try to glue some metal and see how many holes we burn. Wish me luck. I wish I had a TIG welder for this, but I just don't. Got a MIG. So that's gonna have to do. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. All right, here she is. She ain't pretty, but I think she'll hold. I welded it all the way around. Don't look too close. All right, we're not looking for pretty and beauty. We're looking for airtight and doesn't fly away. Yeah, that should work. We can put that back on now. And then if that fits, then what I think is the hard part is done. All right, back to the Danger Ranger. I was gonna clear coat this before I set it in here, but I don't have any, and I'm not running a town for 1 can of clear coat. So, I mean, I'm sure this thing will get taken on and off 100 times before it's done. So at some point, I'll clear coat it or something so that it doesn't get silly. You're so skinny. I'm probably gonna regret not doing it when it freaking oxidizes and rusts in 2 seconds. Cause guess what? Cause it's a rainy day too. It's like sprinkling right now though, so we good. Very humid, very easy. This thing's gonna oxidize literally immediately. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Oh baby, are we in business or what? There she is. Does it fit where I wanted it? No. But I don't know. I wanted it to go in this hole, but it doesn't want to, and you know, that's okay. Like, we could, we could do a bunch of stuff and fabrication and make it fit in there with little wibbly wobblies and whatnot, but it'll be okay. It'll be all right. It's really hard to find stuff for this, and I'm trying to reuse like the headers, obviously. Well, yeah, and I'm only using one, which we're gonna find out how well that works. But you know, if you can just see it and like just going down the road, imagine a hole through this and it's going down the road, forget about it. That's sick. All right, so we're gonna leave it. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. Yeah, your turbo placement, it's just like once you have the exhaust and everything fabbed up, I mean, the air intake stuff is a bunch of rubber, so like you can do whatever you want with it. Now we can finally work on the rest of it. All right, so I guess next thing we're gonna do is the intake setup with the intercooler. So I'm thinking, we'll have our things right here on this side, kind of sticking out this way, so that's not good. So I think we'll elbow it. All right guys, decision has been made. I'm about to start taking off the stuff on the front, and then I'm gonna turn, well, I've already got it turned, our downpiping here, flipping it upside down from what we had it, so then that way the turbo can be faced the right way to our intake will not be so hard. It can just, I won't have to do a U-turn. I can just point it this way to have a daggum intercooler. But I took this headlight off. I gotta take this whole like the thing the grill attaches to. There's like a whole just like big metal piece, and it's just kind of floating there with a couple like 6, 10 millimeter, 11 millimeter, something like that. So I'm gonna see if I can't just like unbolt this thing. All right guys, there we have it. That's where she sits now. And you see our intake pipe can now run along here nice and easy to get to the intercooler. I was originally trying to do it to where like any of this, like I could put it all back together and you would never know anything happened. And you know, cause why not? But that obviously went out the window really fast, and that's okay. That is just a-okay. And I still could, you know, put it back. You'd really never know except for this hole. but you wouldn't be able to see that. I'm still gonna try to get it to where I can put the grill and everything back on after I get the intercooler in here. No promises on that, but I'm gonna try. That'll probably go out the window really quick too. All right, there she is. It's already squished on the bottom, out the box. Fresh out the box, but she'll be all right. Now time to figure this out. So this is where we're at. We've got the this going in here, and then this coming out here into the intake. I could not figure out for the life of me why this thing has 3 holes. It's got 2 over here, 1 over here, and I couldn't figure it out. Like if you look up intercooler right now, an air intercooler, not an air to water, just air. They, like, every single one has 2 holes. So this thing's stupid. I'm gonna weld that shut. I'm gonna put a plate on it or something. I'm gonna freaking weld it shut because that gum's stupid. So yeah, we're ignoring that for now. Put it in here, getting a little silly with it. We'll have to cut the hood for that. I started to run it through here and up through here, and I was like, that's perfect, it'll fit under the hood. And then I was like, wait, the freaking battery goes right here. We're just gonna do it like that. And so now we've got our port right there. We gotta tap into our oil, get our oil up here to lubricate the thing, and then the drain line for it as well. And then over here, we gotta install a blow-off valve. I'm gonna research it, figure it out, more stuff. Once I can figure that out, I can get all those in. And then it'll be Bob's your uncle. We will try to figure out timing and injectors and stuff after that. Blow-off valve, which comes with a little piece that we will weld, you know, like, move out the way. Like right there, somewhere in here, just take that little piece, attach it to there, and it's got a flange, as you can see, that I'll put that on top of, hook up a vacuum line to the throttle body so that it knows when to open and close. And so that's that. Went ahead and put some clamps on so everything would sit daggum still, because I was trying to dry fit everything, and then it just gets to a point where your system is so big that you like touch one thing and freaking everything else falls down. So I clamped a couple things together so that it would stay put. I've got to put in some brackets right here to attach our intercooler so it'll stay put and not fly away in the wind. And now it's time for oil lines. Before I do the blow-off valve, I'm trying to put off busting out the welder as long as I can. So we have our feed one right, where you at? Right here. Let's see. There we go. So there's a little bracket and a gasket, and it just came like a spool of braided wire here, and that just threads on there. You put the gasket in between our metal connections, obviously, and then that's that. That's our line. So we will get a Duma Flitchy. We put that through the oil pan, drill the oil pan, put that through there, and then put a nut on the other side. Did they give me one? I don't think so. We'll probably have to go freaking get one. But then here's the other thing. That's why I wanted to kind of show this, because they give you a lot of stuff and it just looks confusing. I've already got a bunch of it put together, but it comes all in shambles, so it can be confusing in case you're wanting to do this. So you have, let me see if I can set this up like my professional little workbench. So we've got another flange. This is for the drain side. All right, so you'll have another gasket, which is right here. The hole that's on the turbo is a square for some reason, and then goes to the circle. So that's something. So you'll have a gasket, you put it on the turbo, and then you'll have these super shiny, colorful things, and that just threads on there, easy peasy. And then this part unscrews. Okay, it's already pretty tight. This part unscrews from this part, and then you thread the nozzle onto this braided wire. And it's a reverse thread, so do righty loosey, lefty tighty. And then you just put this on top, and it pushes it back in, and it pushes that thing down, and it just holds it, and it makes a really tight seal. And so I'll show you with the other side. It comes with tape on it, and tape doesn't thread very well, so get that off. Get that out of here. There's also, okay, that comes like that, and then you put this like that. You get the point. And then you thread it, it goes on there, and then you take that, screw it back in. That little nozzle, it kind of funnels itself into the line, and then it widens up and just pushes on it real tight. And then this is the part that also goes into the oil pan for the drain side. So that'll come up to the oil pan's right here. This will go on through the other side, and skeet, 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 skeet. And then it's got a hole in it, obviously, for the oil to pass through. And then Bob's your uncle. And these are they're like plumbing threads or whatever they're called, so you don't have to use Teflon or sealant or anything. They should be. That they usually are anyways, okay? Nothing about this kit so far is normal. So nothing about this kit so far is normal, but they should be. Number one, I think these are supposed to be reverse threads or not, whatever. Here she is. Made us some little brackets for this guy. Keep her still. We got all our clamps on and everything. Everybody hooked up. I guess the only thing left to do is try it out, eh? Here we go. All right, we're gonna try her out. I want everyone to make their predictions now. How long this puppy's gonna last? Something's gonna blow up immediately. How far into the testing we can go, how much boost we can make. Lock it in now. If it's even gonna start, we don't know. All right, Jackie, you got her neutral? Yeah. Press that clutch in, all the way in. And then? Yep, crank it up. Probably a bad battery connection. All right, try it now. Right. You just keep holding the clutch in. It's alive. Let off the clutch. All right, cut it off. She is on. She's turboing.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, now that was a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. But yeah, that's just step one. Step two is putting her through the paces. We're gonna do a couple burnouts, couple donuts maybe. Maybe we'll move 5 inches and it'll go boom. We're gonna find out, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Push all them little buttons, helps us out, and stay tuned for the next part.